walked away from a conversation feeling like something wasn't quite right, but you couldn't explain why? Maybe you agreed to something you didn't want, apologized for something you didn't do, or suddenly started doubting your own memory. That strange feeling might be the result of manipulation. Manipulation is one of the most powerful and subtle tools people use to influence others. Unlike open persuasion, manipulation often happens quietly, hidden behind normal conversations, emotions, or even kindness. And the scary part is that it works on almost everyone. To understand how manipulation works, we first need to understand something about human psychology. Our brains are designed to take shortcuts. We rely on trust, social rules, emotions, and quick judgments to navigate everyday life. These shortcuts help us survive and make decisions quickly, but they also make us vulnerable. Manipulators take advantage of these mental shortcuts. One common method is emotional manipulation. Humans naturally want to avoid conflict and make other people feel good. When someone uses guilt, fear, or sympathy to control your behavior, they are targeting those emotional instincts. For example, a person might say something like, "If you really cared about me, you would do this." Suddenly, the situation isn't about the request anymore. It becomes about proving your loyalty or kindness. Another powerful tactic is called gaslighting. Gaslighting happens when someone tries to make you doubt your own perception of reality. Imagine you clearly remember a conversation, but the other person insists it never happened. Or they say you misunderstood, you're overreacting, or your memory is wrong. Over time, repeated gaslighting can make people question their own judgment, which gives the manipulator even more control. Manipulation also often relies on creating pressure. Humans are highly influenced by urgency and social expectations. If someone pushes you to make a quick decision, you have less time to think critically. Phrases like, "This is your only chance," or "Everyone else already agreed," are designed to create stress and rush your decision-making process. Another technique is playing the victim. Some manipulators constantly position themselves as the injured or misunderstood person. Whenever they are confronted, they shift the focus away from their behavior and toward their own suffering. Suddenly, instead of addressing the problem, the conversation becomes about comforting them. This tactic works because most people are empathetic. We don't like to see others in pain, so we instinctively try to fix the situation. Manipulators use that instinct to escape responsibility. Flattery is another subtle form of manipulation. Compliments can make people feel appreciated and valued, but when praise is used strategically, it can lower someone's defenses. If a person tells you how smart, talented, or trustworthy you are right before asking for a favor, it becomes harder to say no. Your brain wants to maintain that positive image. There's also something called the foot in the door technique. This strategy starts with a very small request, something easy to agree to. Once you say yes, the manipulator slowly increases the size of the requests. Because people like to stay consistent with their previous decisions, they are more likely to keep agreeing. For example, someone might first ask for a tiny favor, like borrowing a pen. Then later they ask for something bigger, like borrowing money, helping them move, or taking on extra work. Step by step, the commitment grows. Another common strategy is isolation. Manipulators often try to separate their target from other perspectives. They might criticize your friends, question your family's intentions, or suggest other people are against you. The goal is to make you rely more heavily on them for information and emotional support. When people lose access to outside opinions, manipulation becomes much easier. Without alternative viewpoints, it's harder to notice when something is wrong. Manipulation also works because it often mixes truth with deception. Instead of telling obvious lies, manipulators might twist facts, exaggerate certain details, or leave important information out. This makes the story feel believable, even though it's misleading. And many manipulators don't see themselves as villains. Some people manipulate because they want control, power, or personal gain. But others do it out of insecurity, fear of rejection, or a desire to protect their image. In some cases, manipulation can even become a habit someone learned earlier in life. That doesn't make the behavior harmless. The effects can be serious. People who are repeatedly manipulated may start to lose confidence in their own thoughts and feelings. They may constantly second-guess themselves or feel responsible for problems they didn't create. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and unhealthy relationships. But the good news is that manipulation becomes much less effective once you recognize it. Awareness is the biggest defense. When you understand the common tactics, it becomes easier to spot them in real time. If someone tries to rush your decision, you can slow the conversation down. If someone uses guilt or pressure, you can step back and ask whether the request is actually reasonable. Another important defense is boundaries. Healthy relationships respect personal limits. If someone reacts aggressively or dramatically when you set boundaries, that can be a warning sign. It's also helpful to seek outside perspectives. Talking to trusted friends or family members can help you see situations more clearly. Sometimes another person can recognize manipulation that you might miss when you're emotionally involved. And finally, trust your instincts. That uncomfortable feeling in your gut is often your mind picking up on subtle signals, inconsistencies, pressure, or emotional imbalance. Even if you can't immediately explain why something feels wrong, it's worth paying attention to that feeling. Manipulation works best in silence and confusion. The more we talk about it, learn about it, and recognize the patterns, the less power it has. Because once you can see manipulation clearly, it stops being invisible. If this helped you, consider subscribing.